Cited here, the encounter for today. I go down to my template. I open up my master. Now, I can do one of two things. I can write a subsequent note or I can write a discharge note. Okay? The baby's being transferred, so he is a discharge from the hospital. Do not write a critical transport note because that is a note that you write when you return from transporting the child to the other hospital. That means you are physically in the ambulance. So do not use that until you come back from the other hospital. Then you can write what happened in the ambulance while you were there. Okay? But when a baby is discharged from the hospital, transferred to another hospital, it is a discharge note, or if it's on the same day that the baby is born, it would be an admission discharge same day. If it's a subsequent day, I usually write a subsequent day note and then a discharge note at the end. So, subsequent day note, okay, and I'm going to be transferring this baby out. So, I'm going to make believe I have done all my little stuff for today before I'm going to write my information on the transfer out. So, I'm going to go to discharge planning. The question is, what's the disposition of this baby? I am sending this baby out to another hospital. So I'm transferring him to another hospital. Now you can transfer him with many different types of levels of billing. Now, I made clear at the beginning that this is a critical baby, and we know that he was born on the 8th of December, and it is less than 28 days. So he is critical, and so it's not initial because he's been in the NICU for a while. It's critical. He's less than 28 days, and it's a subsequent day transfer. So I click there. It's asking me where did I transfer this baby to. Now here in Connecticut, we usually transfer to Yale. Okay. Now here's the part that people just don't get, and now I'm going to teach you how to do it. This is on the discharge transfer time, and this is what makes or breaks your note as far as billing. It asks you to put in the minutes, hours that you spent at the bedside, but do not count the procedure time. Okay, so if you're putting UAC lines in this baby, you're putting in an endotracheal tube, you're putting in an IV, you're putting in a UV line, those are not counted here. This is just the time that you spent at the bedside examining the patient, making decisions on the patient. Okay, so let's say that we spent 45 minutes there. Okay, does not include procedures. This is time reviewing all those labs that you sent off and talking with the radiologist, talking with the cardiologist about the echocardiogram, everything that you did about the tests and imaging. Okay, so I'm going to spend an hour and 20 minutes. So I'm going to put 1 hour and I'm going to put 20 minutes up here. You can use these little up and down arrows. I find it's just easier to type it in. So I spent an hour and 20 minutes. This is the time documenting the medical record. This is the time that you spent writing this note. Okay? And sometimes it does take a while, especially when you're inputting all these little times that you spent doing the time. Okay, so I'll say it took me 30 minutes to do this. This is the time discussing treatment with the family. Okay, and sometimes it doesn't have to be continuous time, and that's really what I want to stress on here is that the time at the bedside doesn't have to be continuous. It has to just be a total. So let's say I spent um, 50 minutes talking with this family over the course of the evening or the day about this child. Okay, and time discussing with the referring hospital. Let's say I spent another 30 minutes. And when I say that this time here is not the time after you make the decision that you're going to transfer this baby. Let's say the baby's fine in the morning and you spend time doing stuff with the baby and you spend time doing this, talking to the parents, and then at 6 o'clock at night, the baby um, gets very sick, requires intubation, all those things. You can add the time that you spent during the day taking care of this baby and talking with the parents to this time because, again, you're not going to be billing for anything but we call critical hours. Okay? Because the billing that you did earlier in the day, if let's say you had submitted a ESB, is out the window once you decide to send a baby to another hospital. So I've done a total of 235 minutes. I'm going to click OK. All right. Now, let's go to the I know it's not going to show very much, but it's going to show you what I am talking about here. In my document, I'm going to write. I can do my subsequent day note if I want, or I can do a discharge summary because when a baby leaves your hospital, is always a discharge summary because the baby's being discharged. It's being transferred to another hospital. Now I want to show you again. This baby test tricky. It has nothing up here because I didn't put that in. I wanted to show you how to document the time for this baby. And we just did that. And look at what happens at the end of your note. All this time has been added up to be 235 minutes. Okay? Now you might say, so big whoop. It says 235 minutes. Well, guess what? That's 235 minutes of critical hours. And critical hours is how you're billing. Okay? So let's go now to the ESB. Let's go to the neonatal ESB on this baby. And you'll be surprised to see that the critical hours should have already been put in. They're not. Here I am telling you that critical hours are put in. I guess because I don't know why. Let's see. I did the discharge. I went to master. I want to click yes. I want to save everything there. I guess I have to write a problem. Let's go cardiovascular. Let's do a problem. I'm just going to put a problem in here. 26, we're going to give him aortic valve stenosis. So he has to leave. Okay, so go here. And let's see if I get in my documents my discharge summary. Okay, it's already opened. I'm overwriting it to put in this diagnosis, the active diagnoses, and let's see if my ESB now. Let's go here. I want to go to my master. Master, go to my super bill. Yes, I want to put in my prematurity. Well, really, I want to put in my aortic valve stenosis. Oops, I double clicked too many. I want to put in my C-section primary. Okay, and now let's see if my critical hours. There it is! Yay! Maybe it wasn't on the other one. I was looking here, but here it is. Transfer to level 3, subsequent day. Here you go. You get the 2291, the 99291. Okay, which is the first 30 to 74 minutes. Remember, these are critical hours, and you would think that a critical hour would be 60 minutes, but here it's 74 minutes. And then each additional 30 minutes or part thereof is billed. Okay, so it automatically gives you, look at that. You don't even have to think. It already gives you the billing, and you now have successfully, you still have to fill out more things here, but you have successfully filled out the correct amount of time here because the time was put into, believe it or not, here. And it's here because when you went to the discharge transfer plan, let's push yes here, you put that in. Now, how do you get it back? Let's say you want to change things. You spent more time with this baby. Go to detail. That's where it is. It's under detail. And you can change things here and just push OK. All right, and then that'll change the ESB. So if I spend another 15 minutes doing this, I'll put 45. Okay? And if I spend another hour here, I'll put 45 and I'll put 1 hour. 1. Okay. And now we have 310 minutes. I go okay. I'll do my discharge note. That's when you click that, it gives you the old discharge note. I want to go to the master and I want to make a new document that's a discharge summary. It says it's already open, and yes, it is, but you've changed it, so you want to say yes. I want to change it. I want to overwrite it, and we'll see how many minutes we get now. We get 310 minutes. Now let's look at our neonatal ESB, which had 99291 times 1 and 99292 times 2. And now it's 99292 times 8. Isn't that wonderful? It just does it right for you. Okay? Remember, the key points here, you have to do the detail part of the discharge transfer plan here, which pops up after you put in the hospital. You do that, you push OK, and then you have to do a discharge note. Do not do a critical transport note unless you are carrying your barf bag onto the ambulance and traveling over the potholes to the hospital in the sky. Okay? This has been how to transfer a baby who is critical, how to document it, and how to bill for it.